a child prodigy whose piano talent has graced the greatest concert halls. Good morning, I'm Atty. Karen Jimeno, and this is At the Forefront. For the baby boomers and X generation, she's a living legend. Students from the 70s and 80s would see her pictures in newspapers and current event digests, then issued by the Ministry of Education, Culture, and Sports. She would perform for foreign dignitaries visiting our country. Decades on, this talent would be one of the first Filipinos to put our country on the global spotlight. Honed by the best and acclaimed as one of the finest pianists of her generation. What stories and passions lie behind the masterful hands that play classical music and inspired the world? A world-renowned concert pianist, the Cecile Licad. Good morning, Cecile.
Good morning, Atty. Karen.
Well, Cecile, everyone knows you as the living legend, but of course, we're all curious about your personal background. So we'll be showing you photos, and please give us the stories behind them. So we'll start with this.
Okay.
So we have first, taking a while, your mother, Rosario Licad. What do you remember about your first piano lessons with your mom? So your mom played the piano?
Yes, she did. But what I remember was more is she didn't really teach me. I was like a 4-year-old kid, and I only hanged out. I was very attractive to the piano as a young kid. I just, it's playing, and she had a lot of students, and there's a particular student that was so good that at 3 years old I was like, I want to play better than her.
At 3? Oh my goodness! I have a son that turned 4, and I can't see him play the piano.
I was just underneath the piano all the time. I was like a cat, always underneath the piano, lying in the. And I always never forget this. There's only one girl. She had curly hair, and she played beautiful. And I think that really. I said I want to play piano.
And you said your mom didn't really teach you. Like, when you started playing the piano, did it come naturally?
Well, at 4 years old, I don't really remember exactly what happened. All I know is I'm already selling pusa in like some recital in her students. So, I mean, she had to teach my brothers in the blackboard. We had, she's a theory teacher, so she knows how to teach us how to read notes. So but I was just younger than my brothers, so my father was the one who tells her, you have to teach them. In any case, meaning just so we learn something. He's always like I always look up at my father because he's always like, doesn't stop learning.
Oh, very intellectual.
Not really, but very curious. He was a doctor.
Would you remember if you learned to read first, to read and write before you learned to read musical notes?
No, definitely I read notes first.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
I played the piano before. That's why I find this very amazing. I started, I think, when I was 6 and played up until high school. But for me, it was a lot of effort. Like, I really had to practice. For every recital, I had to memorize my pieces. But for you, do you have that natural talent of hearing something and then you can play it on the piano?
No. I basically wanted to read notes at an early age. And apparently I used to steal the music of my brothers. They wanted my brothers to be the pianist. And the other brother was an actor. But apparently I was the one who was very curious. So I remember my mother said that my brother used to be pissed because his music would get lost. And I would get it and I would read it since I'm curious.
Yeah. What was the most important lesson you learned from your mom?
My mom, I think the only thing that I remembered from my mom, the thing is I'm a stubborn kid. So even as a kid, I didn't want to listen to her.
Okay. Were you an only girl?
Yes.
And then
so I was
how many
kinda,
brothers?
I had 3 brothers, so I had to fend for myself.
You weren't spoiled as an only girl?
No.
That's amazing.
No, because I don't know. I don't remember being spoiled. I was always bribed to practice because as a kid, you know, I mean, there are times where I want to practice, but you don't want to be woken up at 4 a.m. In the morning.
Yeah, that's really early just to practice. Were you a daddy's girl?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, okay. So,
But he would pull me out of bed, and I'm like, scratching my eyes and I'm already in the piano, sitting down. Before I went to school. So at least I get already 2 hours, and then he said, if you practice well, I have good food. I went to the market. I bought fried bangus and
wow.
sile and vinegar, which I still like up to now.
But in hindsight, looking back, would you say that you were a prodigy?
I don't know, prodigy.
Like in the same way that they describe Mozart as a music prodigy.
I have no idea. I wasn't really aware of these words. Plus, I wasn't aware of the word nervous. Whenever my mother is a very nervous person, so my father didn't allow her to talk to me about the word nervous.
So your dad was very intentional.
So as a young
in raising
kid,
you. Yeah.
nervous is like a no-no.
And let's look at the next picture, because this is when you started really learning from other people. This is Professor Rosario Picasso. What kind of mentor was Professor Rosario Picasso?
Well, this is where my luck came, I think, because when I don't know how my mom was teaching in the same school as her, but she was already famous as a very good mentor, meaning from scratch. So when I met her, I don't know, there's a certain chemistry, even though she was already like, I don't know how old was she then, maybe 69 already or 68. And I was 5 and a half.
Oh my gosh, that's so young.
Yeah, but it was a very slow process, but I really liked, I was never bored once. That's what I remember. Because she made it so interesting, so I would hold a ball first, like a small ball, or she would make me imagine how to position my hands in the piano. So there's not even a sound. It's just, the position, She never likes when it's like bad position. So I liked the process. Maybe a year, it was just only that.
So never bored. Was she at some point very strict or harsh?
She was
if you
strict,
made
but she's
mistakes?
I trusted her. Even at an early age, I had such a trust with this woman, meaning I would just do my best whenever I see her face. It's something about her face, her personality, her voice, and the way she dresses. It's like, you have to respect her.
How long was that? How long did you study with Professor Rosario?
Until before I went to Philadelphia.
So you ended up in Philadelphia.
When I was about 11, I auditioned in Curtis. I was almost 12.
But at 7, you debuted as a soloist with the Philharmonic Orchestra. Is that correct?
Yeah, I love that part because I was where I was having my lessons with Rosario Picasso. They also had ballet there. They had also a lot of young violin, an orchestra. They had an orchestra with Antonino Buenaventura was his name, and I love that guy because every Saturday he would be rehearsing. So I learned my first concerto at around 6, but then every week they would rehearse with me, meaning I can already play with them, so it's very natural.
Were you the youngest member of the Philharmonic
No,
Orchestra
I wasn't a
back
member,
then?
but I was like...
I mean, like someone who played with them
Yes.
as a group. You were the youngest.
Yeah, plus I had like, some of them are older than me, but I was like, it was nice to be with people because I was always by myself. I was mostly a very isolated child.
Well, it sounded like you were very mature for your age. You didn't find it odd that at 7, you were constantly interacting with much older people, playing music with them, whereas other kids would be playing.
Yeah, but I
at
loved
that
older
age.
people. I love to know their stories. I am kind of like I always hang
Old
out with,
soul,
with
yeah.
older people.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to find out. They have so many fun stories, They gossip. I like the.
What was it about you that had a semblance of a normal childhood? Because by all accounts, like your history, your experiences is very unusual for just a regular child. Did you ever have time to play with just Barbie dolls or just
No, Barbie dolls?
Yeah.
I take off their eyes. No, I remember my
Yeah.
first doll.
Yes.
When my father gave me a doll, I only got one doll because I took off the eyes. I don't know why. I think I like playing basketball. And we had like a little basketball court.
Oh, so that's where
Because
having brothers came
Yeah.
in, like, and influenced your personality.
Yes, and I like all the. Ano ba yun? What is it called when you throw water? There's a day here in the Philippines.
Is that in San Juan?
Yes.
Yes. So you've experienced that. Did you live in San Juan before?
I live 2 blocks. I live 2 blocks away, literally, between LV and Pictures and here.
So like
this is
around New Manila.
Yes, this is very sentimental for me. This area.
Oh, how wonderful. Well, national artist Lucrecia Casilag
Yes.
once praised your pupil-teacher bond with Professor Picasso. What was that bond that Dean Casilag was referring to?
I don't know. But I mean, if she said that, I mean, it is true. I had a bond with Miss Picasso. She was always a Miss Picasso. I don't know. I liked her.
So I guess it was evident to other people. Like,
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, they must know. And she really loved me.
Perhaps she saw the talent in you very early on.
Yeah, and then I was a good student because I respected her. Meaning I wouldn't argue with her because I felt like whatever she's teaching is really makes sense. Like she knows, because a piano is all about tone. And she knew how to, at an early age, she knew how to make me produce the right sound, not only like, loud sounds, but how to produce a tone in the piano.
Yeah, and piano playing is very precise. Like
not only precise, but it's all about the tone.
Yeah. Well, let's look at the next picture because this is where you mentioned earlier at 11, you tried out for the Curtis
Yes.
Institute of Music. So when you left for Philadelphia to become a student at Curtis Institute, what was that experience like? Because that's such a young age, like.
Yeah, well,
11,
it was my mother. It's funny because as a young age, my mother got this catalog from somewhere, from a friend from America, and they sent it to her. I think I was only 8. But then they wrote the school, but they said, it's a bit too young to, So we waited another year, or 2 years. And then, what happened?
So at age 12, was it at age 12 that you started?
11.
At 11.
The thing is, Curtis is like, it's like the Harvard of music school, except it's so small.
So very elite, the people that they choose to accept.
Everybody is scholars. So you cannot pay the school. Nobody can ever pay, like, please accept this.
Yeah, so it's really based on who they screen, on their talent.
And you cannot send tapes. And even up to now, it's the same, meaning...
You have to go there personally.
Yes, you have to audition personally. In
So
fact,
you
it was
flew
a very...
to Philadelphia just to apply and audition at age 11.
Yeah, I went with my mother, of course.
Yes.
But it was kind of difficult to leave your country. I was like, I'm used to having all my favorite things, and all of a sudden, I'm in the U.S.
Yeah.
But of course, what I hear about the U.S. is like everything is big. Every
Did that meet your expectations? Was everything big? Was it
Yeah.
overwhelming?
no,
Not
but
overwhelming,
I
but
did.
big.
Yeah, I liked it.
And when you went to Curtis Institute, did you have to stay? Is it like a boarding school where you stay
No.
with them, or you have
No,
to?
I live with my mother, so we got a little tiny apartment right in front of the Academy of Music, which is it's like the Carnegie Hall of Philadelphia. So we lived just across that, so I could hear all the concerts. Even Maria Callas was,
Oh, so Maria Callas was
Yeah, but
there
when-
at some point.
But I was in line, but then she canceled in the last minute. But I heard Rubinstein, Horowitz, the greatest pianists
That's
that ever
amazing.
lived.
Yeah.
So I was really exposed, and my teacher is one of the director of the school then was the legendary Rudolf Serkin.
Okay, so let's look at the next picture. Rudolf
Okay.
Serkin was one of the greatest pianists of the 20th century, and he taught you personally.
Yes, and I'd never realized I would study with him, because my father, who is like when I grew up as a child, he had like a genius electrician friend who was like very experimental in speakers. So I grew up listening to music in my sleep because he had all the speakers.
Oh, designed for you by his friend.
Yeah, but my
Yeah.
father also liked this stuff. So
Yeah.
he's tinkling with electricity, with reel-to-reel tapes, but it's all over the house, in our bedroom especially. So I would hear Eroica Symphony I memorized the whole symphony as a kid because that's what I heard all day. And also, fortunately, my father, even though he didn't know so much about music, he had good taste with all the music he played for me. He played me Glenn Gould, he played me different pianists, Richter from Russia.
Yeah. What was the most memorable moment you've had with Rudolf Serkin?
Most memorable
Yeah.
is
If you look back up to now.
when I was there my first year in Curtis. So at the end of, he gave me lessons, but I didn't study only with him. I had three teachers.
Yeah.
Because he was performing like all around the world himself, so he would hear me once a month.
Yes, yeah.
So there's another one who's much younger, Seymour Lipkin, and then there's another one who's already 82.
Wow,
And he's a direct descendant of like Chopin.
Wow.
No, meaning his mother studied with Frédéric Chopin,
Yes.
and one of his teachers studied with like the descendant of Beethoven.
That's amazing.
So I would never dream of having Rudolf Serkin because I heard him when I was 5 years old in my sleep. And he never accepted anyone. He only accepts very few because he's. So I was expecting just there's a woman there named Eleanor Sokolov. So usually he takes the younger students, and she's super strict. But when I auditioned, I went there. I wasn't nervous. My mother was nervous. It was a very atmospheric. What do you call that? The whole building. It's so old and. Oriental carpets everywhere. It's so elegant, and it's like, a real conservatory
From years way back.
Yeah, and they had beautiful pianos, Steinway. And so, but anyway, back to Rudolf Serkin. So I studied with him. I had lessons, but at the end of the year, we had a jury where we would play for all the piano teachers. But I didn't know he brought his wife. It's in the hall. So his wife was sitting in the balcony somewhere. I didn't know that. So I played a Mozart sonata, and I just played. And then at the end of the piece, there's this very complicated. I practiced it so hard, but I messed it up. meaning I missed the run.
Okay.
So obviously as a Filipino, you want everything perfect, and so after the audition, I went home because I walked by myself back to my apartment. I was crying and saying, "Oh my God, I'm going to be kicked out of this school."
How old were you at this time?
It's like 13.
Still so young. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that's the saddest day of my life when I made a mistake of this run, because Mozart is very, a lot of very transparent runs. It's really, it's the hardest composer. It sounds simple, but it's. So I went home like really crying, and then my mother, I went to the apartment and I told my mother I played like shit. It's just. I messed up that thing. And so the next morning, they called me in the director's office. So I was like.
So nervous, probably.
I was so nervous that they will tell me that I flunked. So anyway, I was waiting outside the office of the director, who was my teacher. So then he opened the door and said, "Come in, sit down in the office." Then he said, "We decided that you're the most outstanding student."
Amazing. And that's already in your mind, making a mistake. Like
In
your
the
worst.
school. In the school, you're actually the most outstanding student in the school, and we're giving you $2,000.
Wow.
And at that time, that's big. I
That's
was like,
really big. Yeah.
I
This
was
is
like,
back, what, in
oh
the
my
80s?
God. My mistake was like, and then he said that I made his wife cried, and I didn't even know his wife was there. From the slow movement of the piece that I played. So meaning I'm saying that the learning lesson here is, as growing up, they're very afraid of mistakes.
Yeah.
You cannot make a mistake. Everything has to be memorized. If you forgot, but that's a no-no. It's not about that. It's about the expression, the feeling, and as an early age, maybe my mother is a big influence because she's always so dramatic. And she's
That
always
can be
like,
a good thing.
it has to be, you have to put yourself in everything has a feeling, and then before I perform, for example, my brother would act. I had an actor brother who would act like in something that I would be playing, he would act like an actor. And then my mother said, "Oh, bother her some more, so that even if I get lost, I can go on." So that, I think my mother gave me a good lesson there.
Yeah. And I suppose what you consider to be a mistake was an expression that moved other people.
Yeah, and also for me, I always kept that until now, that one shouldn't be afraid of mistakes. Mistakes only make you better.
Yeah, that's a good lesson.
And even if you make mistakes, if the message is there, it doesn't matter.
Well, the next picture is you winning a gold medal. So you won the gold in the Leventritt competition. Take us back to that date, January 24, 1981, when you won the gold medal in the Leventritt competition, which is a very prestigious award. Did you expect that win?
No, not at all. Because it was they were doing a different kind of competition, because it was a very big competition, but they haven't found somebody who deserves it for 10 years. So they didn't give the gold medal.
So they don't give it out.
So instead they kind of secretly made me play concerts in small cities, and then sometimes all the great musicians in New York would get together, and then they would hear me play. So I thought they were just going to give me advice, in how, whatever, because they're such great musicians. And then I did that, and the third time I did that, I had no idea, but I played the whole Chopin 12 Etudes, which is considered, the hardest in the piano repertoire to master. And so I played that whole thing, and then a week after, they invited me for breakfast to, the Leventritt Foundation, and then they said, we decided that you get the gold medal.
So you were in a competition without even knowing it.
Yes.
But that's really an accomplishment because they withhold awarding the gold medal if there's no one that deserves it.
Yep.
And you deserve that after, 10 years of not having an awardee.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. You were the first Filipino to get this award.
Yep.
That's pretty amazing. And as a world-renowned piano concert artist, how much is talent and how much is practice based on your experience?
I don't know about, I mean, I know I am talented, I guess.
You guess? Playing at 4 years old? Yeah, I guess for people, ordinary people like us, when we watch your childhood, how you grow up, you do sound like a prodigy.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm
But
never
then you
aware.
And
I'm
then
never
you
really
did
aware.
put in the hard work. I mean, living in the US and studying under the greatest musicians,
Yeah.
pianists at that time. So I think for you it's hard to say because it's a combination of both.
It's a combination of both, and also the students that I was with in Curtis. That's another thing.
Did they make you feel suddenly unspecial when you saw how talented the other students were in Curtis?
Yeah, but then I had something inside like, I'm going to play better than him. I'm going to play better than him.
Oh,
I'm gonna
that's
play better than
really
him.
your personality.
It's been always like that.
Yes, yeah.
Even at 3 years old, I said I'm going to play better than my mom's student.
Yeah. So I think it's hard to get someone like you, like to replicate another Cecile.
No, it's
Licad.
something to do with the inner
So
strength.
your drive, perhaps your passion.
Or maybe I just grew up like that. It's just my personality.
Well, you were 7 months pregnant when you played Son Son at the Carnegie Hall.
Mm-hmm.
And then 10 days after giving birth, you flew to Japan for another performance. How difficult was it to be a concert artist and a young mom at the same time? But before you answer this question, we'll have to take a short break. At the Forefront, we'll be right back. Welcome back at the Forefront. Cecile, you were 7 months pregnant when you played Son Son at the Carnegie Hall. And then 10 days after giving birth, you flew to Japan for another concert. So what was it like to be a concert artist and balancing that with being a new mom?
Nothing. Life goes on, meaning I have to earn a living. So I have to do it. I have to do this.
You never thought about taking a break? Because you sound like
I don't
you
have
come from-
rules. Let's put it this way.
Yes.
I never have rules. If you're a mom, you have to stay with the baby for this. No, my life goes on, especially if you need to pay your living. You know.
And you are also married. You were married to the late Brazilian cellist Antonio Meneses.
Yes.
Meneses. Did you tour and perform together as artists?
Yes, very much, because we were married, and I do like playing cello. I was very attracted to that instrument.
So,
I like low. I mean, I like high instrument too, but I like a tone like my voice.
yeah, you do have this like very deep tenor. I mean, like your voice. It's,
No, I remember he used to feel my vibrations of my voice, and he said, "I think that's where you get your sound."
Yeah, it is quite soothing though. Your voice.
No, but he said that he's wondering, because some people are wondering where I get my sound. Even they said I'm thin. Where do you get your sound? Maybe it's from my.
Well, are you the type of person who only gets attracted to fellow artists and musicians, or do you see yourself also being attracted to someone that?
Well, I
what
only
do they
met
call that? More left
musicians.
brain. Yeah.
I only met musicians when I was like in my teenage years, but I'm attracted to any kind of everybody, any kind of profession.
So it's not intentional. You just happened to really fall in love with Antonio.
Because because we were in a festival, in a chamber music festival, and
That's how you met. You were playing together.
yeah, but then he called me from, I think I was playing in Japan, and he said, I just got your CD of the Chopin concerto, and the second movement is like, it's just a dream the way you played it. And anyway, you know, things started that way. So it's more about, he admired my way of playing, and it touched him because he's a musician.
How long were you married?
I don't know, 9 years.
9
8
years. Where did you settle down back then?
Do I have to talk about my personal
Yes.
life?
No, you don't have to. But I'm curious, like, did you live in the U.S.
No,
when you were
I lived in the U.S. and in Switzerland because I was going back and forth. So basically, my son was actually studying. No, he was studying in Switzerland and in New York.
See, we have your old couples photo here. See, very
Who's that?
beautiful couple.
No, that's
your
my
son already. Oh my gosh!
That's my son.
See, you look too young to have a son that tall.
Oh
and
my
that's
God.
you as a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
See, we did our research. So
Oh yeah, but there's a pedal. You see the pedal?
that's because you were too small to
My
play.
father made a special pedal for me so that
So you can still step on the
so that I can
pedals of the
yes,
piano.
not only just put your feet there, but it
Yeah.
also makes colors.
Oh, wow. So you talk about your son, Otavio.
Yeah.
He's an only son, but he apparently inherited your talent for music as well.
Yes.
He played with you, you also performed the Poulenc's double concerto. Is that the first concerto you performed together?
Yeah, but he didn't want to practice.
He didn't want to practice. He
But
didn't have your
But he can
diligence.
No, but he still can play. That's the miracle.
So he
of
is
it.
a natural.
But then later on, it's like, I mean, Mom, you have to practice, and the way you practice, I don't want the life like that. Plus, I'm always very, you know, before a concert, I get very crazy, and I don't show it to people, but it just takes so much of me to perform, and people think it's so easy the way you do it. It's not. It's the process that's very important. I think it's the
So
same
you get
with,
in your own zone.
yes, I think
before
it's
playing.
the same in every profession. If you want to really do well, you have to focus on things, and parang it's an actor. You have to get into this, into your own world.
Well, for your son, it seems to come naturally. Did he pursue piano as much as you did? Like, did he go to a school?
No, he
music
went to a
school?
piano teacher. I mainly I asked this piano teacher to teach him, but he learned very fast. I mean, but he didn't want to pursue that.
Were you disappointed that he didn't follow in your footsteps?
No, I'm not a
You're not
A
what you
mom.
call a helicopter mom.
No,
That's
no,
what my
no.
husband will always say, like,
no.
you know, constantly hovering around.
No, I
and-
don't.
No.
But he's a great son.
Does he still play piano with you up to now?
He probably tinkles in the piano when I'm not around.
So the pressure's off.
Yeah.
Did he ever tell you that he felt pressured to be like you because your accomplishments are exceptional?
No,
completely
he
world
doesn't.
class.
He doesn't. He's a very confident person, but he just saw what goes through performing, what it means to perform.
Yeah.
That's it's a different kind of work.
And does he speak Tagalog? Did you ever teach him Tagalog? Because he grew up abroad.
Yeah, he understands a few words.
Just a few words.
Yeah.
Okay. And but you joke about being Pinoy as paksiw. What is it about you that's still very Pinoy? Because you moved to the U.S. at a very young age.
I don't know.
You were
11.
11.
I was always very protective of being Pinoy. I just remember I see a lot of Pinoys where I was living in Philadelphia, and then of course sometimes I guess I don't look like I am Pinoy, but they would think I would be from another Asian country, so they would make fun of me, or something like that, or like I was in a hardware store in New York, and I had a cold, and I had my hat on, and they were saying, "Ay nako, itong baklang to ano." Basta they were picking on me like, anong bakla? I mean, I'm not bakla. I'm a girl. This is my husband. I had a friend with me, so I pretended. No, but they were just really mean. So I had to answer them back in Tagalog.
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Oh my God, Filipino pala to."
Did you ever experience that? I mean, you were, I think, the only Filipino when you were going to school, when you were in your music school before at the Curtis Institute. Did you ever feel different, or were you aware that you were a minority back then?
Minority? I never felt like a minority. They never. They never treated me, first of all, in the school like a minority. And all my classmates were Korean, Japanese.
So it's very diverse.
Very diverse. And they're super talented. I mean, really talented.
Yeah.
So there's no way I cannot be good. Because it's a drive.
Yeah, and you had that like bubble of being around exceptional people.
Yes.
It's a very different
And
environment.
we're very few.
Yeah.
The only
and
thing
the
is
best in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it about Filipinos? You said that your parents and Filipino audiences are the toughest critics.
No, I just remember it when my mother is a bit difficult. My father is fine because he doesn't really know when I make mistakes. It's my mother who knows.
Because she plays the piano, so she can identify
Yes,
your
and then
mistakes.
she would squeal on him, saying that, because my father would be smiling after, for example, and then she goes like, she taps my father like, she made a mistake here.
Oh, wow.
And so then my father would be like, what? So there's some fear. So whenever my parents are in the audience, I always don't feel free.
Would you have...
Plus they're very nervous. I
Yeah,
don't know
so
why.
your dad doesn't want to use that word, but they
I-
are nervous
But my mother
for
is
you.
more nervous. No,
Yeah.
actually, my father is not nervous. My mother was very nervous. She was like, I don't like being around her in the backstage. And then one time I was playing, I was already professional player, and I would play again, I made a little mistake here and there. So she comes inside the backstage with such a somber face, and I said, "Why is your face so funeral-like?" I played well, I mean, they always make. Sorry, I pick on,
Yeah.
I'm picking on my mom, but nothing is perfect,
Yeah.
It's,
Would you have it?
She had some good positive things, but
Yes.
there's also some things that.
She sounded very much of a perfectionist. Would you have it any other way? Like, looking back, would you wish that she was more laid back about it, or?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I think it's her personality to be agitated.
And you think it wouldn't have made a difference in terms of how driven and how good you were if she were more laid back?
No, she's agitated, but she's also laid back. Meaning, she's not. She can't tell me what to do. I'm stubborn, so she has to lay back.
Well, we really want to get to know you more, so we'll mention several categories and give us your top 3 answers.
Yeah.
So first, what were the top 3 most difficult pieces you've ever played?
It's hard to say. Every piece I play is hard.
You only pick hard pieces.
No, everything is hard.
Why would you say hard? Because you're so talented. I think a lot of people would
Because I don't think of my
imagine-
talent.
Yeah.
I always think of myself when I'm learning something like a beginner, you know. I don't like routine things. And actually, my son mentioned that to me, that, you know, or whenever I get nervous, he would be like, Mom, you've been playing for 50 years. What are you doing? Well, you know, please chill out. But I will always be, because whenever I play, I want it to sound like it's something that's just composed or something that's fresh in my ears. And so because of this, then the public gets
Moved, or what,
Yeah,
what
whatever.
you want to evoke emotions from
I
your...
want to invoke emotions, but not like a planned emotion.
Yeah.
That's why I prepare a lot, so that my fingers can just go wherever, and I can be a one-man show theater.
Yeah.
It's like a theater show.
So you really can't give your top 3 most difficult pieces.
It's hard. A lot of. I played so many pieces already. Everything is tough. I can't.
You
Sorry.
can't rank them.
I
Yeah.
can't tell you what's tough.
Yeah. What about top 3 favorite composers?
Well, I guess I'm associated to Chopin. So yeah, I always loved Chopin, and but I don't have any favorites.
You don't have favorites. Okay.
I get
That's
it.
just-
It's like
you
an
are
act.
really unusual individual. Like even the way you answer things. That's a very unique personality. But so take it as a compliment.
Right.
Top 3 unforgettable concert halls.
Top 3 unforgettable concert hall: Boston Symphony Hall, Carnegie Hall. What else?
Maybe some
Oh,
hall
in
where you-
Europe, yeah.
In Europe, yeah.
The you know, like the music for Freund. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Is there any hall that has a sentimental value to you? Like one that stands out because it has a sentimental value to you?
Sentimental value? No.
None?
Sorry.
Yeah. So when you play for you, when you go into a concert
don't
hall, you're
think-
like you have a game face on, or like you have a certain mindset where it's all about playing. So you don't
Yeah.
attach anything to the place. Just like more of
Yeah,
you're
just
gonna
bring me to a
perform.
piano. I'll
Yeah.
play.
Wow. Top 3 Filipino dishes that you crave.
Paksiw is first.
That's also my favorite.
No, I remember, even my son knows paksiw.
Yeah.
Because I would always order in New York, and then, what's that? Paksiw? And paksiw and anything with vinegar, with
Adobo?
with sili labuyo, adobo, sinigang, of course, of sinigang of pata.
Wow.
I like kind of strange with bones. You know, those are the tastiest part.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's a Filipino in you. Like my husband, as an American, doesn't like anything with bones, even chicken.
no, and I like the weird stuff. I like the kalyos with tripe. You know,
Oh,
people
wow.
like
Isaw. Have you eaten isaw?
What's that?
It's like the intestines of
Oh,
chicken.
God, I
or
love
pork.
that.
All right.
I would love that.
I wouldn't put you as someone. You're I don't know. You're just so sophisticated. I can't imagine you eating isaw.
No, I like the most weird things because it's good.
Yeah. Okay. Top 3 dream collaborations, if any.
Dream collaborations.
Have you thought about any musicians that you would love to play with, or any singers that you would love to play with?
They're all dead.
They're all dead. Oh, so okay lang. Maria Callas, is she one of them, or?
It's too bad because I was once invited in the cruise. No, I went on a cruise once, and they were all like, you know, the top jazz. Dizzy Gillespie was there, and all the top classical musicians was there. And what's the subject matter now? I forgot.
The top 3 dream collaborations. So perhaps any musician, even if it's posthumous, even if they're already dead, like kung nabuhay pa sila,
Horowitz.
you would have loved.
Horowitz.
Horowitz.
Yep.
So that's the only person you can think about that you would love to collaborate with.
I don't know. He's playing up to now. It's like an innovation of piano playing, and it's exciting. It's something that you would just like, even if you don't know classical music, you just be glued to watching him.
To be drawn to him. What about any pop stars? Have you thought of any pop star that you would consider collaborating with? So this is non-classical, but that you would, that you would make an exception for.
But I don't know how to do pop music.
Yeah, well, you can play classical and then, like some kind of unique collaboration.
Well, I did that already. I did some with Leia years ago. Leia Salonga.
Yes, yeah.
But it's wonderful, and with her brother,
Gerard, yes.
who's a great, wonderful musician. So, like what?
Like Taylor Swift, for example, would you consider?
Taylor Swift?
Yeah,
I don't know.
but you'd be open to it.
Yeah, if it's something interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, this last collaboration I did many concerts with Wynton Marsalis and the whole and an all-star jazz musicians. I was playing classical.
And they were doing jazz.
And we had a whole tour of playing for a silent movie.
Oh, wow.
And that was fun. That was really, it was a great experience because there's such loose kind of people, and they really enjoy and have fun. And I think that opened me up too, as a musician, as a person, because it's not all about the playing. It's how you relate with people and have fun.
Yeah. Top 3 lessons that music taught you.
Music taught me.
Or I suppose your experience as a musician.
I live through my music. That's where my, without music, I'll die.
Have you ever experienced any failure? Your life is just
Of course,
strewn
failure.
with success.
No,
to
it's
us,
not.
it doesn't seem like you've ever experienced failure in your
Of course,
life.
you only live for failures. I mean, failure is part of getting better. Because if you don't fail, there's nowhere to go. Or
So what would you consider as one of your biggest failures in the past?
I don't know. I'm never satisfied with things I do, up to a certain point. But now, I used to not smile at all after a concert because I'm always thinking of what I did. Or, sometimes people say, oh, she's such a snob, but I'm actually just thinking of what the hell did I do in that part, or what the hell
Oh my gosh, you really
Yeah.
analyze even after a concert.
Yes.
And this is even after people telling you like you're
Yes, because I know
amazing.
exactly where I screwed up, or what can be better, or not only the screwing up, meaning what I missed communicating in this part, or how it can be communicated, what kind of technique should I use for my fingers, It's always like, unconsciously, it's just going in my head. But now it's better now. I separate it. After you play, it's like, that's the, what do you call that? That's the day.
Yeah. Well, as someone who has been playing the piano for about 50 years, what made you decide to come back to the Philippines and perform here?
Because I love performing here. They love music here. But, and I feel like I can offer something with great quality. And what I like now going home is I can play what I hear. I don't have to think of like, I remember, years ago, I always play like, not, even though they say, oh, she's so great. No, I like now playing softer things so that because people sometimes don't, they're only expecting loud. But now I like contrast. I like giving different expressions, just like life. So I'm not gonna play just to please the crowd or what they expect. You're putting down the audience if you only want to play everything loud. But the problem is people think that's you're underrating the people's, means they're more intelligent than that.
Yeah, they will appreciate.
They will appreciate if you're clear.
Yeah.
So the clarity of expression, the feeling, the most important for me, and of course, the perfection. So it's all balance.
Yeah. Well, now that we have very modern technologies where a lot of kids just listen through from their phones, do you think something's lost compared to just listening from
Live is
phones?
different.
Live is different.
Definitely.
And
I never, what do you call this? I forgot now what I'm talking about. But I never listened to a recording before I learned something. Like, for example, I'm playing Scott Joplin. He had some recordings of himself playing. He's a fantastic, the entertainer from, I was practicing the other day. I put it in Facebook, and because my son said, "Oh, Robert Redford died," and so da-da-da-da, buddy.
Do you ever play for yourself, just, for your own pleasure? Because you're such a perfectionist when you're performing for others, but for yourself, like, do you no?
I only practice. Sometimes I play for myself, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid. I'm nervous for myself.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so can you invite people to your upcoming concerts? If you can give us an idea of the dates, the venues, and where they can get the tickets.
Okay, so this is where I'm playing. October 1st, I'm playing tomorrow. That's tomorrow. At 6:30 p.m., presented by Miranila Heritage House Library in Quezon City. And for tickets, please text BURN at 0906-547-8268. And then October 6th is, I'm going to Iloilo, and I'm playing at the famous Molo Church there.
Wow.
And it's a free concert, and apparently a lot of students will be attending, which is great. I would love to meet all the young people, and hopefully I can lure them.
Yeah.
Presented by former Senator Franklin Drilon, this free concert.
Who was just a guest here yesterday.
Really?
Yes, yeah.
Well, thank you, Mr. Senator. This free concert forms part of Iloilo City's Arts Month celebration held every October. And then on October 7, I think it's also in Iloilo, presented naman by UP Visayas, First Philippine Holdings and Philippine Airlines at Performing Arts Hall in UP Visayas. Also free. And then October 11, Saturday at 6 p.m., presented by the provincial government of Catanduanes at the E-Crown Hotel Ballroom. It's free, so please come. They are inviting abaca farmers, so abacaleros, the fishermen, transportation sectors, and music teachers of Catanduanes is music teachers, and I didn't know that Catanduanes is actually the abaca capital.
Yes.
So I would like to visit that.
Yeah. But it's nice that you're doing a lot of performances also for free, and not just in Metro Manila, but in other parts of the Philippines. So thank you.
Thank you
for doing that.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah. And for those that will watch you, now you know the woman who will be sitting behind the piano, someone who will be really just thinking about the performance. So it's nice to get into your head, Cecile.
Well, I don't know how to get into my head. It's a mystery.
Yes, and you really answer unconventionally. So this was a very interesting interview.
Thank you.
Thank you again,
Thank you, Atty.
Cecile Licad.
Thank you, Ter.
Music for Cecile Licad is more than a performance. It is a lifetime of discipline, a gift of emotion, and a voice that transcends words. Every note played, every stage conquered, reflects the spirit of a Filipino artist. Talented, driven, tough. Be timely informed, be insightful of the news. Always stay at the forefront. Join us again tomorrow for conversations on issues that matter. This is Attorney Karen Jimeno. Thank you for spending your hour with us.